possible.
We have an agent that's just trying to make us legit, and he just doesn't understand it's never going to happen. Trying to set us up with all sorts of retirement plans.
But it's all of his friends.
Yeah, friends, family members.
Friends, family, acquaintances, everyone Bob refers us to is the best.
With these
Bob,
words.
He just happens to know all of them, too.
So-
Our agent got the bright idea of incorporating you and I, and now I know why. So he could feed his own family.
That's right.
We have like an accountant that lives in Chicago.
Hey.
Chicago, who's somehow related to our agent. Then we,
Well, you're going to have to put a couple of more dollars into that fund.
right?
That's what you got to do. Couple of more dollars. Because that'll come back and help you when you go to retire. What? I don't know. I don't even know. Just give me the money. I'll put it in the bank. Isn't that what you do?
That's all we need.
That sounds responsible.
But he thought, no, very important to be incorporated. We write checks, and his reasoning was you'll save so much more money if you're incorporated. I guess that's like the basics of this, right? And the amount of checks we write for like people, I think we have a staff of like 20 people.
I get a bill sometimes. I have no idea what it's for. It's going out to Chicago somewhere.
For some work he did.
Yeah, some work he did. I don't know. Well, we had to pay the corporate payroll balance book secretary, and that'll cost you about 2 G's. What? What did she do? Well, she took care of the corporate paycheck balance book. Okay.
We pay people, we don't know what they do.
I have no idea.
I think we need to audit our agent. I really do.
You want to do an audit?
We really need to
Wow,
know
I
where
wonder
this
if that
money's
might
going.
turn up.
What the freak is going on?
I do feel he is as honest as they come, but there's these
But
little
he's still
things.
a lawyer and he's still an agent.
Yeah, and
They
he knows
can't be
people.
fully trusted
He's
no
got
matter what you think.
He's got these acquaintances and family members that are on the payroll,
On our payroll.
on the in the till, the hand in the till.
I write checks. I'm like, you're kidding me, right?
I don't know what it is. I know. I write the same ones. I sign them. I'm like, okay. I'm like the stupid guy that ends up broke.
How many times do you go like this? You're writing the check and you're like, what the fuck did she do this month for $2,200?
I don't know.
And who the fuck is this?
Who's that?
As I'm signing my name, I'm
What
like,
do they do?
What do they do?
I don't know. I have this fear that I'm just going to be that guy
And how many bank accounts do
who
we
has
have?
no clue where his money went.
How many bank accounts do we have?
I don't know. I'm not very sure.
We have bank accounts hidden in all over the place.
Are they hidden?
I think they're hidden because I don't have a statement book.
Do you check yours at all?
How do you check them?
Oh, my God, dude. You could check it online.
Which one?
Like, I pop into that thing about once a week to make sure it's still there.
Dude, we shouldn't have multiple bank accounts.
Why?
Because what does that mean? I want one bank account.
There's your personal account.
Right.
There's your corporate account.
Right.
And then there's an Opie and Anthony account.
Right. No, I know.
Which
those.
we share.
There's other ones.
If we ever get a divorce, I'm going down there first and withdrawing all the money. I learned. Ope will be down there. I'd like to withdraw half the money. Oh, Mr. Kumia came in and took it.
There's other bank accounts, though. There's not much money in them.
I don't know. I have websites that I can go to and check them. And that's what I do. Once a week, I check and make sure it's still in there. Because and when I hit the enter button, I wince. I'm wincing and looking at the monitor going, come on, baby. Come on, be there. Because I'm waiting to just see zero. Because it's happened before in my marriage. So I'm just waiting to see the zero balance there and know that, after this is all said and done, I have to go back to construction.
Right. So I guess we're doing okay. I don't even know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. We just write these checks. So yesterday the finance guy came over and I had to write another check for insurance.
Was he trying to entertain you with his style of humor? Oh, God.
He gets into a couple of conversations about things.
Right.
Sometimes political.
Right.
And, I'm just kind of talking and staring at the paperwork we have to go over and looking at his eyes, glancing back at the paperwork. Like, hello, see that thing that I have to sign at some point here? Perhaps we can do that now.
Yeah, let's just sign the paperwork so I
can sign that now.
So I can take a nap.
I can leave.
Don't want to hear your philosophy on the election with the cute jokes you heard around the office. Jesus, we don't do the cute jokes ever on the show.
It is so, and it's this whole, it's still connected to the divorce thing from years ago. Dude, how long ago did I get divorced? I think it was
1, 2,
1999.
3, 4, 5 years ago?
5 years ago, things started, and I'm still dealing with it. Like, I have to carry insurance.
Now, let me
I
ask.
have to get my ex-wife insurance. So if I drop dead, she gets paid. Can you believe that? And there I was yesterday, writing another check. It's painful.
It's amazing.
Guys get
Screwed.
fucked.
Is there a certain amount of time you have to write checks for in a divorce, or is it
Ready
like
for this?
forever?
It's all negotiable.
Ready for this? Anthony, can I say this? You were married 10
care.
years,
Yeah.
and you will be paying for more than 10 years technically when it's all said and done.
Yeah, it seems like I got another 7 years to go or something.
How is that possible?
7 years. Like, just writing the checks. Hello. I sign her name, and it's still my last name on there. It's so annoying. So can't you change that back? Why do ex-wives feel compelled to keep the name? Some of them don't.
Because they can't do anything on their own.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Wants to make it easier. Like, keep the name. And
Can't do anything
easier.
on their own and don't want to do anything on their own.
I guess.
I know a little bit of something about your ex, and she doesn't do anything except spend your money. That's all she does. That's it. She hasn't done anything to better herself because she's living off your dollar.
Well, what are you going to do?
Well, all women.
Like hitting the lottery.
Wouldn't all women be ashamed to just take a check for doing nothing? I mean, any woman.
Who knew marrying me was hitting the lottery? Who saw that one coming?
Who saw it? I did.
You saw that one coming? Man, when I was knocking tin up in an attic,
Can you
who
imagine?
knew the investment in time would really pay off? You know?
Yeah, that's pretty wild. if
There
you
I
think about
was
it.
making my $27,500 a year in attics.
And now she gets paid for a decade because she was married to you.
I thought I won the lotto because she was a bartender. I got free drinks. To me, that was winning the lotto. I get done with work, hop down to the bar in Greenlawn, and just start chugging beers and shots. Mm-hmm. That was lotto to me. You mean I don't have to pay for booze ever again? This is fantastic.
Oh, you're going to be paying for that booze, my friend. Are you going
Those
to pay?
shots, those free shots were about $1,000 a piece.
Yeah, why don't you do the new math now and figure out how many of those how much those shots actually cost you?
Gonna do the new math.
I bet you if someone out there was handy with a calculator and a pen and we gave him a few figures, I think those same shots you did for free way back in the day would cost you about $1,000 per shot now.
I don't even need a calculator. I can round it off and pretty much figure it comes out to a lot.
A lot.
It comes out to a lot of cash. Guys just get reamed, man. And you know something? I'm just thankful I do have something. You know? Because if I was just some guy that's working for a living, and you know, you're still paying through the nose, ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Well, you know, at this point, I don't.
You know, I still got the roof over my head and, you know, food.
At this point, I don't even understand why people get married. I don't.
I could never do it again.
I don't think I'll ever get married at this point.
I don't know why I did it the first time.
I had a shot at it and it failed miserably, obviously. But
Aww.
But I don't think it's just not worth it because you're putting too much trust in the whole damn process.
You could be in, you know, complete love with somebody, and the worst thing you can do is get married. Why have the paperwork? Why have the legal binding contract that all it can ever do is bite you in the ass?
Right, that's all it is.
It's all it can do. If you're in love with each other and you're living together or, you know, sharing your life together, that's fine. All good could come from that. What's the paperwork for? Why do you need this friggin' document that will turn around and cost you money and pain down the road?
And
no reason for it.
And in most cases, the guy gets screwed, obviously. I mean, when we talk about divorce, you'll get a few guys call and say, no, I actually, you know, made out in my divorce.
Oh, you get ladies that call up and say, it was horrible. I got screwed. I was the one that bought the house. Right. Exception to the rule, ladies.
But in general, it's, let's be honest, the guys get screwed. So you're getting married just to throw this contract in a drawer somewhere where someday it's going to haunt you. And a lot of guys end up staying in a marriage because they know they're going to get screwed if they try to get out of it. Mm-hmm. So then they have to, you know, live and be miserable.
Yep.
Knowing that they really want to get out of the marriage, but they just can't afford to do it.
Ben's smiling.
We had a
he
guy
was just telling me the other day about some of his friends that are just getting screwed. His friends got married, and it's the typical story. You just change the names. It's awful.
We had a guy, a sales guy at WNEW, who was making a really good living, good living, but he got divorced, and his wife got everything. Like the really nice house in Westchester.
Oh, you get out of the house.
And, he had to take care of the children as well, which he had no problem with. When it was all said and done, he was living in a little box here in Manhattan.
Yep.
Still making a ton of money for WNEW, but it was all going to his ex. The only thing he could afford was like a tiny one-bedroom apartment.
It's got to be great for a man to get married, work his ass off, buy that dream house for him and his bride, and for whatever reasons, guys or girls, could be their fault, either one, whatever, I'm not even getting into that, but whatever the reason is, he has to move out, get some shithole apartment somewhere, as his ex now lives in the house that his sweat and blood bought, as she's, maybe now banging some guy in his bedroom that he bought and paid for. It's just, there's no reason.
Yeah, so why would you do that?
Why would you do that to yourself?
It doesn't make sense anymore. There probably was a time it really made a lot of sense until the lawyers got their greasy hands involved in this whole process,
There should be no reason.
You're just taking way too much for granted. You're just assuming that you're going to be in a really happy, loving relationship for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. And in most cases, that's not going to be the case. So you're signing away your life as you know it.
This was from the olden days when women were incapable of taking care of themselves in the world. What they did was they hooked up with a strong man who worked, and she raised the family. And if something happened to the guy and he wasn't insured, or they got a divorce, the woman was pretty much left out in the cold. So all kinds of laws were made, and divorce law was made, and now the women have to be supported by the guy. But it's 2004 now, people. And we're still living with this system that, the woman can go out and support herself as a human being. You don't need the guy paying for you to live now, but still happens. What about the guy? He's got to work and support himself. That's not easy. 99% of the people out there aren't, earning enough that they could pay for two people separately. And there he is, buying a little or renting a little shithole. As the woman gets the house, the cars, you got to sell everything. Anything fun you might have had in your life, that boat that you had, the motorcycle, that all has to get sold. It's a disgrace. It's awful. Why would you do it?
Why?
If you're getting married, there are some guys right now listening going, oh, my God, that have a wedding right around the corner. Right around the corner.
Dude,
and right now,
cancel your wedding.
Cancel it.
I mean, in the end, you're going to lose. Simple as that.
If you're
what is the
truly
divorce
in
rate
love,
up to like
she'll get over
70%?
it.
And trust me, God will understand.
Yeah.
If you're getting married because of the whole, you have to be married in God's eyes or whatever, he'll understand in the end.
I'll tell you why people get married, especially guys. It's because of their families. They're getting married for their families. That's one reason. For the girl, that's another reason.
It's her day.
A lot of guys don't want to get married. They get pushed into it. Guys would rather live with the girl, and that's it. Send it right there. Girls want to get married, and the families want their children to be married, and that's why people do it. When you're walking down that aisle, when you're ready to give those vows, you're not thinking this is great. You're thinking, holy shit, what the hell is going on? I'm signing a legal binding document that can only hurt me.
In the end. And most weddings just stink, let's be honest. They stink.
Well, that whole tradition.
You pick out a reading. You don't even know what it is. You just know it sounds good, and
oh, that stupid letter to the Corinthians thing. Some sap gets up and starts reading it.
Half those readings, what? You don't mean this. You just picked it from a book. Just so your aunt could start crying in the front row.
And a love that will last forever. And shut up. She's up at the podium shaking, shaking, nervous, reading hands. Oh, and you're sitting there looking at your watch. You shouldn't look at your watch if this is an event people, put on, taking years to plan. And Yeah, but everyone's looking at their watch because it's just boring as hell. It's the same crap you've been through 1,000 times. Oh, here they come. They're lighting the candles together. Oh, look at them light the candles. Take some pictures of that.
Right.
So we can tear them in half when they get the divorce.
Here's something for the people getting married out there. Most people don't want to go to your wedding.
Right.
They
It's
have
an
no
inconvenience.
fucking desire to go to your wedding. You've been friends with them forever. Yes, I understand that. They don't want to be there. They bitch the whole time to other people going, oh, man, Saturday, it's a long weekend, and
Yep.
and I have to go to blah, blah's wedding. I know I've been friends with him since childhood, but I don't want to freaking go. I'd rather play golf. I'd rather do this. I'd rather do anything but.
How many times do you say that? I got a wedding to go
Another
to. Son
wedding.
of a big- And then you go. I'm at the point now in my life, if I get invited to a wedding, it's got to be somebody really, like, close to me. And I don't go to the church. I refuse. I show up at the reception. Give me a couple of drinks. I'll come, couple of drinks, hang out. I'll goof on the people, and then I'm out. Will you ever see me on the conga line that goes through the kitchen of the reception hall? Look at them. They're doing the conga. There they go. Oh, look, Grandma's at the end. Oh, what a mess. It's nothing spontaneous.
It's the same
Nothing
wedding.
fun. It's this cookie cutter, stamped out thing with just new victims, new future courtroom victims sitting up. Cling, 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 cling. Oh, look, they're kissing.
Same music played.
The same dopey DJ.
Daddy's little girl. All right, we
music.
get it. Daddy's little girl.
Oh,
Great.
everyone's crying. Now, if we could get everyone up to dance, no. I will not entertain you.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, let's hear it
Let's
for
bring
Mr.
'em out.
and Mrs. Block.
Oh, look, the bridal party's holding their arms up to make a little tunnel. Here they come, running through. Get the picture. The photographer is taking all the pictures. We want to get the bridal party outside on the grass. It's a beautiful day. Now, guys, could you roll your pant leg up and kick? What the fuck is that?
And
What
here's-
is that shot?
And here's something else. Don't waste your time on getting the pictures done because you'll never look at them.
You'll never look at them.
You'll look at them, once, and then you'll throw them in a drawer
Oh, they'll
somewhere.
just no one wants to see them. No one wants to see them.
And you see the happy couple that just got married. Give them maybe a year, and then they're going to be just as miserable as all the other couples,
Right.
looking on at the wedding.
Because they're together? No. Because they're married. Because they're married.
I think as soon as you get married, I don't know because I haven't done it, and that
I'll give you any info you want on it, Elf.
and at this point, I just don't see the point at all. But
There's
I think
no upside.
I think that if you're not married, you keep the excitement going.
You do?
I think so.
You absolutely
Because
do.
I think there's always that thing like you're not really, the person, excuse me, the person can leave the relationship at any given time, so it makes you work a little
Danger
harder.
factor?
Makes you work a little harder. Maybe you won't cut your hair and start looking like your buddy Phil all of a sudden. Maybe you won't gain those 15 pounds just because, we're married now. It don't matter anymore.
Do you think...
Maybe, you'll close the door instead of taking a shit in front of your husband.
It's just over at that point.
Right, but if you're still living with someone, I think the excitement's still there, and you got that in the back of your head. They can leave at any time.
Do you think that bull dyke haircut is attractive? And hey, ladies, of course, there are millions of instances that girls could give of their guys getting out of shape and ridiculous.
Oh, and you know what? It's fair to say it works both ways, is what I'm saying.
Right.
You live
Works
with a
both
girl or
ways.
something, I think the guys are working a little harder, too. Like, well, hey, she could be leaving for, someone tomorrow,
Right.
There's something about it, I think, that just makes you try a little harder.
Try a
keep
little
yourself
harder.
in shape, try to be a little more romantic.
That friggin' mom haircut.
Don't leave your streak-stained underwear just laying around.
There you go.
You clean up a little bit better.
Right. And when the moms cut that hair, when these wives they reach a point and give that haircut where they look like their husband's friends that he plays cards with. You think that's good? Oh, they put on those clothes that try to cover up the world of hurt that's going on.
For all the young guys out there thinking they want to get married, here's something. Take the Long Island Railroad from Huntington to Penn Station on matinee day. What is matinee day?
Oh.
I think it's Wednesday, right?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
All these older ladies getting together to go to a Broadway show. They're all going to a Broadway show.
We're going to the show.
And a lot of these women aren't even that old yet.
No, they're not. And I said to my husband, I'm going to matinee, and when I come home, this lawn had better be cut. Ugh.
Dude, there are these women that you see on the Long Island Railroad going to matinees. They're more manly than a lot of men I've seen. I don't know what happened. There's like some kind of hormone thing
Hormones
has happened already.
There's something going on where they are getting these huge doses of male hormones because, their bodies take on a masculine shape. They're very wide at the shoulders, narrower at the hips, and they cover it up with those sweatshirt things. And then their hair, they cut it. They get the Phil hairdo.
Phil hair. The Phil haircut.
And their faces and skin have this more manly look to it. They've just given up.
Could be all the smoking they're doing.
Smoking.
Just drying out their faces.
They just give up.
I used to take that train when we were doing afternoon drive, and I'm like, I was horrified. Like, this is...
Is this the future?
This is...
Is this the train to the future?
This is what's going to happen.
But if you're not married, and there's that out, like Opie said, both sides work a little harder.
I think so.
Both sides work a little harder to keep things going. They're not bound in a legal, binding corporate relationship.
My dream was always to kind of have a Rockstar-like relationship.
What is that?
Completely settle
Rod
with...
Stewart drinking out of Mick Jagger's mule till he's got to get his stomach pumped?
Settle with someone.
Yeah.
Know within both parties' hearts that you're not going anywhere, but you don't have to make it official.
Right.
I think that's a hell of a lot more exciting than doing the cookie-cutter wedding in front of your stupid family and friends.
Oh. I got married at a bar. I didn't even do the whole wedding thing. I got married at the bar that my mother worked at. That was pretty much it. No one was affording anything. And you know what it is now? It's a strip club.
Is it really?
The place I got married
Nice.
is now a strip club in Comac, on Comac, New York, out on Long Island. That's it. Speaks volumes. And I actually went to Bill Brady, Habil, Cowbell Bill, went to his bachelor party at that very strip club.
Really? The place you got married at?
But my wedding place, Opie. I was shoving dollar bills down Russian chicks' G-strings.
That's so cool. You had a horrific wedding, I believe.
Oh, it was the wedding, the marriage, everything's just a nightmare. I didn't know what I was doing.
The engagement ring.
Engagement ring.
One of my favorite stories ever.
I should have known then. I mean, it all adds up now. In hindsight, it all adds up. I, for some reason, decided it was time for me to get married. I think because my life was kind of not going anywhere, I thought that might have been a direction to go to kind of hook things up. Would have started the ball rolling.
Wait, yeah, why would you get married?
I had a shit job, right? I lived in a hovel. I gave you my best to Jerry, my spot online.
Yeah, why don't you give me that DVD back, all right?
You're not getting your King of Comedy DVD back. I'm sorry.
All right, go ahead.
So I guess, I'm not even sure. It's psychobabble to me, but I guess I thought if I had gotten married that it would push me in a direction I had to be, which was a little more responsible. Maybe I'd get a better job because of it. Maybe a little more respect. I don't know. I thought it was what I should do. Apparently, I was wrong. Thought it was what I should do.
Yeah.
So I decide I'm going to get married. So what do when you get married? You get a ring.
Were you into it ever?
Let me seriously assess this. No. I really wasn't into it.
Did you like do it because you felt like, I don't know, everyone else was getting married?
No one else was really getting married.
So why did you get married if you really weren't
Like I
into
said,
it?
I thought it was one of those things I should do. I had reached a
man.
point in my life where it was like, oh my God, I'm acting like this irresponsible kid for my whole life. And boy, that didn't stop, did it?
No. Thank God.
Just never stopped. And I thought if I got married, it would be a way that I would go to the next level, where I would get, you get married, and then I would get the good paying job, and then I would get the house. It was like a piece that of a puzzle that had to be there for the other pieces. You know? It was a rung on a ladder, Opie. It was time for me to do that. Stupid move. But what did I know? So you're ready to get married, you got to get the ring. That's the first step, right? I put this off, and it shows what was going through my head. I put things off. I put it off. I didn't put money away for a ring. I had no money.
No offense to this day, you still do exactly that.
Oh, I do. I put
everything.
things off. But the good thing is now, Infinity Broadcasting has afforded me the opportunity, by paying us for sitting and doing nothing, where I can put things off and then just, like they say, you just throw money at a problem, it tends to go away. That's kind of what it is. I could pay for things, which is good. And that helps when you're irresponsible. At the time, I didn't have the proverbial pot to piss in or window to throw it out of. And I had to get a ring. I had to get a ring. So where do you go? Where do people go to buy wedding rings? Tiffany's. People go there.
What was that place in Huntington on...
Bailey Banks and Biddle.
Wow.
They go there.
The place on...
That's where Trump's son went.
The place near the mall on Jericho Turnpike.
Ooh, the Diamond Exchange?
No. Carrot Shop or something like that?
Something like that?
Whatever.
Even if you wanted to get a maybe lower-end diamond, you would go to one of the lower-end jewelry stores, but you go to a jewelry store. I was getting on a train to go up to Massachusetts to propose on Christmas Day.
That sounds like a very romantic thing.
In front of her entire family for the first time me meeting them. Now, I have never met the family. I am ready to meet the family for the first time. I'm driving up to Massachusetts in my Volkswagen Beetle.
Nice.
With it was a Baja Bug, which had been, take the fenders up with a fiberglass Baja kit on for off-roading. Because I was such a responsible adult, I had a dune buggy as my mode of transportation. My mode of transportation, dune buggy, which I'm driving up. Now, if you've ever been to Massachusetts in December, it's cold. It's cold now in Massachusetts. December, I had no heat in this dune buggy, and the cold air just blew in. I had to cover myself and drive in blankets. Here's the prize that's coming up to the other prize that is going to, hook up.
Wow.
Here's the guy coming up saying, wow. I'm going to take your little girl.
Right, wow.
And
were you excited?
I had a link from the Mod Squad afro at the time,
you did.
too. I mean, my hair was just...
When I first met you, you still had the crazy hair.
I looked like a walking mushroom. Yeah.
Looked like you should be playing for the band Boston.
Right. I looked like Sib the drummer.
Yeah,
from
big time.
Boston.
Big time. If you got that old album laying around, that's Anthony's hairdo. Right up until I met him, matter of fact.
Yeah. So I drive. That was when I went to propose, but I had to go to the when I drove up afterwards. But to propose, I took the train to go to Penn Station, ready to get my ring. I don't have it yet. I don't have a ring, Opie. So what do? There's a jewelry store in Penn Station. Yeah. There's a jewelry store in Penn Station.
Yeah.
And I walked in, and I found something that resembled my impression of an engagement ring. It was, I don't even know what it was made out of. It could have been silver. I don't even know. It's supposed to be gold. And had this little alleged diamond.
A chip.
This piece of glass was in it. What are you supposed to pay for a diamond? It's supposed to be 3 months' salary. 3-month salary.
Yeah, well,
For
they
a wedding ring or engagement?
for an engagement ring.
well they put that in the girls' heads.
Right. 3 months salary.
The diamond world has they
Now,
all got together and said, look, if this lady's worth it, you need to
I'm making
put 3 months of your salary into a ring.
$27,500 a year. What's 3 months salary?
Well, it's about-
Let's say $30,000.
Well, then that'd be about $6,000.
Be about $6,000. Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, 6,
No,
12.
10.
Yeah.
3, 6, 9.
Wait, we're
12.
going
No,
on
3 months.
7.
Third of your salary. Which
third
would
of your
be
salary, 10,000.
10,000. So it would be
Wait,
a
what
little
were you
under
making?
10,000.
27.
27.
Oh, so all right.
6,800.
9,000.
Yeah.
$9,000 on 27,000.
6,800. We stink.
No, it's a third, right?
Yeah.
27,000 you were making?
Yeah.
A third of that is 9,000.
Okay. 9,000, Jim.
When we do this.
That's easy. That's easy math.
Wait,
Yeah.
27,500 divided by 12.
No, that's 1 month.
Jim,
Divided by 12 is just 1 month.
you just keep being quiet over there. We're doing fine right
Now
now.
times it by 3.
Put your calculator away. It's not working.
Aw.
Oh, Jimmy.
Looks so dejected. He's trying to do some math.
Look, he brought in Rent Boys. Great.
Yeah. $9,000 we decided?
$9,000 is a third of your salary.
So me making 27.5, I should have put so much thought into this and thought about it so much sooner and planned for this.
you know what kind of
and put
jet ski
away
you could have got for $9,000
$9,000.
back
I know
then?
what kind of, because I did.
All right. So go ahead.
$9,000 it should have been.
All right.
What did my engagement ring cost? Opie, I spent $800. $800 on an engagement ring. And that was overpriced. Believe me. If I would have went out to Long Island or something and thought about it before I was leaving,
That same ring probably would have been $500.
about $500, maybe even $300.
Because I think they
In Penn Station?
they jack prices up at Penn
Of course.
Station.
Of course they do. But I picked it up, and here I was, ready to make my trek up to propose.
In the Baja.
In the Baja
In the
Bug.
middle of winter. Or
In
the
the
start
middle
of
of
winter
winter.
is December.
So, I go back to my house, pick up the bug, and took my trip up there. And the family, her family was it was Christmas Day. So there'd been let's just say, plenty of Christmas cheer. Plenty of Christmas cheer was in the air at the house. The whole family was over. And there was scotch and Captain Morgan and boxes of wine, more than you could ever imagine, all over the house, and all the family was there. And the first thing I did was downed 2 giant water
Tumblers.
glasses. They were like what you would give this huge water glasses.
Wait, so you drove up in the Baja,
Yeah.
the 200 plus miles,
Yep.
freezing your ass off. You get to the door, and then what? I think you skipped ahead here a little bit.
Well, yeah,
Did they greet you with open arms, the family? Were they drunk?
Yeah, it was a
What's
couple of
going on?
cousins. A couple of cousins just hammered, all red-faced, going, "Hey, glad to meet you. Why don't you come to fucking and have a goddamn drink?" And I did.
And
Walked
who knew
in.
you were proposing? Just you?
Just me and her.
Run!
I know. I
Run!
could have bolted right then and there.
Run!
I could have bolted. But any reservations or anything went out the window after I downed 2 huge water glasses full of Captain Morgan. Captain Morgan. "Ar, matey! Don't matter. You can get married. Ar, the captain says it's okay." Quite the crappy little bounty you got there in that ring box. I wouldn't bury that treasure in a cat box. Ar, matey. But you're here. You're here anyway. You weathered the storm to come up. You might as well take the plunge. Ar. I was hoping a rapier would go through my chest at that moment, but the captain said, "Go ahead." The captain said it was okay. He had his leg up on the little box, and he was going, "Ar, matey, have a nither." And,
So you got the $800 ring in your pocket.
yep.
You're hammered now.
I had quite the little buzz on.
The family's there.
The family's there.
The
They're
lovely
all
lady
buzzing.
is there.
Yeah.
With hope in her eyes, wanting in her
Oh,
eyes.
yes. And I was, I gave her Christmas present. I did what a lot of guys do. They could save money by, doing the engagement ring and the Christmas present. It's all in one. It's an all-in-one.
Did you place it in a really big box and then a smaller box and then a smaller box and a smaller box?
I have this original idea. This funny, look, she's unwrapping it. Ugh.
So what, everyone was opening up presents?
Everyone was opening up presents.
And all of a sudden you just casually... Did you make everyone stop?
No, which is red flag number 2. If I really wanted to do this, I would have wanted everyone around. If I was proud of my ring, I would have wanted everyone around. Believe me, I wanted to do this down at a drugstore down on the corner. You want to step out a minute here? You want to come down to the garage? Yeah, it was time. And I don't even remember exactly what I said. Oh, I know. Could I have another drink? That's what I said first. Keep 'em coming, matey. Arr. Yeah.
Wow.
I think I just did the standard, will you marry me?
Was there tears?
Will you marry me?
There were
no.
There were tears
No.
in your eyes.
I remember her mother, gasped.
You know that ring has now cost you a good $1. Probably.
Oh, dude, that ring's very expensive.
That's
very expensive.
That's the point we're trying to make to the guys out there. See, you think it makes sense at the time, but you're still paying for that ring.
That ring, very expensive.
Don't you wish the Baja crashed on the way to Massachusetts?
It might have been easier to deal with had it just spun out on the Mass Pike, rammed into an abutment. Burst into flames. Would have been warm.
So then, did she run around the room showing everybody the ring?
Yeah. And everyone was like, well, congratulations.
Anyone give you the look like, you cheap bastard?
I never saw that look. Maybe I just didn't want to see it. But that was probably the most pathetic engagement ring I've ever seen in my life. And then you get friends, that go, oh, look, and they show their engagement rings, and they're just these huge rocks. You can't even understand how anyone could afford it. And there was that little, what size was it? I'm trying to think of something that's that size, but I really can't. It was so small. A little grain of sand, like a little pebble.
Wow.
It was nothing. Oh, let me see. Is that, yeah. See, there's the Boston picture. We ought to put that up on the website.
Right.
Yeah, that's how Anthony's hair looked.
Yeah.
The first Boston album.
Sib from Boston,
right.
The drummer. And that was, that was the beginning. I had a little, for the wedding, had a little party at the house that I was living at where everyone came over. Had it in the backyard. Talk about just white trash.
One guy's screaming on the phone. It's a quarter of your it's a fourth of your salary, not a third, you tool.
Hey, ass cock! I saw the commercial 8,000 times. It said 3 months salary, you jerk off. 3, 6, 9, 12. That is a quarter. Okay.
That's
it's a fraction, idiot. It's a quarter. 3, 6, 9, 12.
Anthony you didn't come close to a tenth.
No,
right?
I didn't come close.
That's
to
the point of this story.
That's the point, John. Don't worry about fractions. We don't. Yes, it is a quarter.
All right.
So what was a fourth?
You don't listen to us because we're math
Jim
majors.
probably right.
Let's relax, everybody.
Jimmy was right. Jimmy knew he was right, too.
Wait, you were right the whole time?
Yeah,
and I told you to shut up, and that's why you gave me that look like you wanted to kill me? I'm sorry, Jimmy. I'm not reading out of your book, though.
For your lack of math skills. He took my cock.
Yeah, everyone's writing. It's 6,870. Isn't that what you said? Jesus.
Yeah, exactly what Jimmy said.
And I'm berating you like, you ass, shut up.
You
and just eat
idiot.
your cereal.
Put your calculator away, Mr. Calculator.
And I'm all confident. I'm like, I know, man. It's coming through like a million times.
Oh, people are just angry.
Jimmy, I'm sorry. Will you accept my apology?
Math wasn't the point of the story, people.
You don't listen to the show because we're math majors. We stink at math and
What
many other things. But go ahead.
Yeah, it was, we had a little party, had the wedding at my mother's bar, and then it was, we did the whole actual ceremony thing in front of a justice of the peace down there in Northport. Had to drive into Northport and go to the justice of the peace, and then it was it. Then it's like, holy shit, I'm married.
And when did you realize you? I already know the answer.
Made a mistake?
Yeah.
The night of the wedding.
See, the story never changes. I'm always testing.
Oh, the night of the wedding.
The night of the wedding, you knew you made a mistake, and then 10 years later, you finally got out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
10 years. I hung in there for 10 years. Nine and change. I don't know why. Why would I do that? Why would I torture myself? But I did. I hung in there, thinking, maybe the better job's around the corner. And you know something? It was. The better job was around the corner. Maybe my plan was working. I had gotten married, and then, I guess, 5 years, 4.5, 5 years later, I got the better job. I was going up to Massachusetts to do radio. What a coincidence and what a convenience, Opie. Thank you so much that our first gig was a mile away from my mother-in-law's house. Could have been anywhere in the United States. Is it safe to assume that the Opie and Anthony show, in its birth, would have gone anywhere in the country had we gotten a good offer?
Yeah, if you remember.
From New York to L.A., from Montana to Texas, we would have gone anywhere to start the show.
If you remember, I don't think we've ever talked about this on the air, but when we were working at BAB and I started sending out tapes when you and I started working together, we were getting hit. People were interested all over the country right away, which is crazy. Yeah. I'm going to bring in our first show someday. And that was after only working together for like 3 months.
Uh-huh.
And Dallas wanted us really bad.
Dallas.
You remember?
Could have been Dallas.
It was between Dallas. In the end, it was between Dallas and Worcester.
Could have been
Worcester / Boston.
Let's say anywhere from Spokane, Washington to Miami.
Yeah.
Bangor, Maine to San Diego. Anywhere in between, we could have ended up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a mile away from my mother-in-law.
Yeah, the radio station was a mile away.
A mile away.
Mm-hmm.
How did that happen?
It was the better offer.
And there I found myself in my Dodge Aries K car. Oh, yeah, I was stepping up. I'd gotten rid of the bug. I got a Dodge Aries K car. Driving back up.
That was on blocks when I first came to your crib.
Yeah.
Your awful crib.
Yeah. I remember turning on the air conditioner once and white smoke came out. I thought I was in a James Bond movie.
So you realized that you made a mistake the night of the wedding.
Yeah. There you are on your wedding night, which is supposed to be a night full of romance, right?
Well, hardcore sex.
Night full of romance.
Hardcore sex.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Those cute little panties that the women get at their bachelorette party and all that. Yeah, those are just torn off, and then you get down to just bumping uglies.
Well, Opie, sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Sometimes it works out where maybe there was a little too much partaking in some alcoholic beverages, and maybe somebody's not in any condition to get a little romantic. And maybe the other person's laying back, staring at the ceiling, thinking, oh, my God, what have I done? Oh, my God, what have I done? Yeah.
So why didn't you get out at that point? Because it wasn't like you were going to lose a lot of money.
I don't know. That was not part of the plan.
And you told me once, like, you were staring at the ceiling and, dare I say, there was a little tear in your eye, Anthony, a little tear in your eye.
Rolling down going, oh, my God, what have I done? Yeah, it was.
That is just tragic.
It was not a good day. But I hung in there for another 9 years. I hung in there.
So you didn't have sex?
Because it was not part of the plan.
You didn't have sex on your
wedding
night?
I have no recollection of that, sir. I'm not going to cross certain boundaries in this conversation.
Oh, okay.
That might get me into
all right. More trouble?
Problems. Yeah.
You can't get in more trouble, can you?
Hey, who knows, huh? All I'm saying is certain parties were, partook a little too much, and other parties were regretful.
Wow. Wasn't there fights, too?
Oh, there were plenty of fights.
No, yeah. I know that. I know that personally. I used to get whatever. I used to get so freaking pissed off. But anyway, no, I'm talking about it during the wedding.
Yeah, there was some kind of
the reception.
There was there was something going on. My brother was trying to pick up on my brand new wife's cousin or something, or just even talking to her. I don't even know what the story was. And well,
your brother's here.
She took offense to it.
Yeah.
My brand new bride took offense to it and started yelling at my mother, calling my brother an asshole. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my goodness, this is just not good. This is just not good. And,
she's calling your brother an
years.
asshole to your mom on your wedding night or the reception, whatever.
Yeah, my mother's just kind of staring back like, oh, this is good. This is great. Picked a good one there. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah. 9 years I hung in there. 9 more years.
No, you've hung in there longer because you've been paying for an extra 5 after.
Well, no,
I don't want to remind
I hung in
you.
there for 9 years, though. I hung in there for 9 years.
So this nightmare has been going on 14 years. So for all the people out there thinking of getting married, take that with you today.
Yeah.
14 years later, you're still dealing with that.
I got the good job, though.
Yes, you did.
So the plan kind of worked.
So she was responsible for your.
Could you go
your
down
career.
to Sears? Could you go down to Sears and get a garage door opener and put it in my garage?
Sounds like a very easy thing to do.
Okay. It's my Christmas vacation. This one, before I was in radio, I'd knocked in, and then I would have to go up every Christmas. We'd have to visit every Christmas. And there was a new thing for me to do.
I need some. We don't get any heat at all down in the basement.
Really?
Not no hot air, and it's freezing down there. Really? Would you be able to run some ductwork from the furnace into the TV room in the basement?
Okay. There I am, Mr. Okay. Mr. Okie Dokie. And during my Christmas vacation from knocking tin, I was knocking tin and hanging garage door openers. I'm so happy now. I'm in such a happy place now. I don't have to do anything anymore.
It's very peaceful. No fighting. I bet you don't vacuum anymore.
I don't remember the last time I pulled out a vacuum. And you know when it was? I don't remember when it was, but I know the situation. When I wanted to. I looked around and said, I think I'm going to push a goddamn vacuum around the house. Boo! There you go. Back in the closet with you. See you whenever. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do now. I don't have to do anything. Anything I don't want to do anymore. But during that time, I had to do it all. I was taking the garbage out all the time. A lot of guys take the garbage out. But it was just that yelling thing about it. That point made that it's my job.
There was a lot of yelling.
Oh, there was a lot of yelling.
There was a time Anthony and I hung out a lot. A real lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember one time that didn't have yelling. Not you and I.
Mm-hmm.
There was always yelling.
There's no more yelling now.
And I hate yelling because I was brought up with yelling.
There's no more yelling now.
You yell at me, I don't even listen to you anymore. I don't even listen. My brain goes blank.
I don't yell.
No, you don't yell at all.
I don't
It had
yell
nothing
anymore.
to do with you.
No.
You would get yelled at over the stupidest things. And
You know what it's like to get yelled at as a grown man? Do you understand what that is, ladies? You don't yell at your husband. Yelling.
And you were a good. And this is what used to piss me off.
She spilled my coffee.
This is what used to piss me off.
Yeah.
You were a good guy. A really good guy.
What a great guy I am.
No, you were. I'm talking about even back in those days. And
I'm very passive. I really put up with a lot of shit.
You were a really good guy. It wasn't like you were banging broads or doing. You were like a normal, nice guy doing.
That is how it ended.
Doing what you thought was right.
Maybe I should have sooner.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, but it was about time.
It certainly was.
And then you're doing the right thing, and you're still just getting yelled at.
Yeah.
Over the stupidest things.
Mm-hmm. You just said, though, Ant, that you
Brother
don't
Joe.
do-
Hey,
you-
Brother Joe.
Hey, kids.
We told you to keep the
how's
mic away from
everybody?
him.
Brother Joe.
Good job, Ben.
You said, I know, you should have blocked me.
Brother
Mike
Joe.
blocked me. You said that you can do anything you want, though. Now you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do.
Pretty much.
And I just can't believe that. That's the reason I live alone.
Oh, right.
I live with nobody. I can truly do whatever I want or not do whatever I want whenever I want. Just thought I'd bring up
can
that
too.
point.
I got to tell you, I am in an amazing relationship. I love it. I've been with the same girl 5 years, and I can do whatever I want. It's amazing. Whatever I want to do. I really do. It's not like marriage. I'm not being yelled at ever.
So then you wanted to go see that No Doubt concert.
Actually, I did. I did.
Now it's cool to say.
There were free tickets. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't know. I felt like coming in and busting.
Jesus Christ.
Busting your chops.
All right. You want to start, asshole?
Let's go.
How about your fucking girlfriend? Every 2 seconds I got to hear, fucking bitch, fuck this, fuck that, fuck. You get more aggravation not living with someone than I've ever seen with anyone that does fucking live with somebody.
When do I bitch? When do I ever
You're
bitch about my girlfriend?
You're constantly bitching about your girlfriend.
Never.
Constantly.
Never.
Dude,
When?
always.
When? I don't have to bitch about
And
her.
I told
She's
her,
not there. She's
and I
not there
told-
often enough.
You kick her out of the fucking house sometimes.
Damn straight.
I've heard that.
Damn straight.
I've heard more shit from you about a girlfriend you don't live with.
Have you ever had the feeling that you wanted to but you couldn't?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm in a great place. I'm content. I sit. I don't have to yell. I don't have to be yelled at. That's my.
Then you're in a
fucking
happy
life.
place.
And
I'm just
I
saying.
love it.
I'm just saying. I can't live like
I
that
know.
anymore. Divorce has completely ruined me for women.
Well, that's
completely
true.
ruined.
He had
me.
an even worse nightmare than I did.
Oh yeah.
Even worse than I did.
It sucked.
Chick smacking her face with a frying pan as she's looking at him in the face, and then calls the cops.
And then
says,
call the cops. Had me
Imagine
arrested.
a girl
Went to
smiling.
jail.
Picture your
Went to
wife
jail.
smiling at you,
I
and then
went to
bashing
jail.
herself in the face with a frying pan as she's looking at you, and then going 911.
Oh yeah.
Hello, my husband just punched me in the face.
By direction of the same lawyer that was involved with. Yeah.
Fun. And then Joe had to leave the house.
Allegedly.
Joe had to leave the house.
Oh yeah.
That he
wasn't
had
allowed
bought.
back. Wasn't allowed back in. Nightmare.
Yeah.
Like,
Anyone?
like
anyone get
9/11.
married
Never
out there?
forget. We will never forget.
Anyone get married out there?
And I know both these guys really well. Trust me, she hit herself in the face with a frying pan.
Oh, Joe's like me. It wouldn't. There's no way by any stretch of the imagination.
We were raised by our mom.
You
we
lay a
were raised
hand on
to
a woman.
ever lay a hand on a woman, ever.
Not even shake their shit out of bitch. Nothing.
All right.
Although you do get some kind of satisfaction out of watching those Canadian PSAs, don't you?
Oh, she spilled my coffee.
we could play that going into the break.
Yeah.
All right, Joe.
You could dream.
All right. Well, wow, that was an hour of radio. I don't know if it meant anything to anybody, but
It was a public service announcement. That guy got a worse ring than I did.
Yeah,
Impossible.
yeah. Tad, stay on the line from San Francisco. We'll talk to you in a few minutes.
Possible.
And wow, the phones have exploded, so we'll go to them next. It's the Opie and Anthony Show. It's the O&A virus spreading across America. Don't worry about that, Ben. We'll play it a little later. We'll do we'll do a mashup, and then we'll come right back with the show instead of taking a break here. So as we take care of business in the bathroom, it's 9 Inch Nails and 50 Cent.